Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and we are working on different things we can do to the back of our journal pages from the kit. It goes like this. I've got this upside down on purpose, but I have to remember that. And so what I'm going to do, I like to use mica sprays, and I don't do it that often in my journal, so I decided this time I would do that. And so to use them and really make them look cool, you have to use gesso. And I don't know if you all know this, but last year I kind of took a vacation from junk journaling and I did art journaling. And so there are some kits in my Etsy shop, and there are videos on YouTube about those art journaling projects if you want to do them. But I used a lot of gesso like every week. And so I bought a gallon of it, and I still have more than half of the gallon left. So I'm going to use this and gesso 3 of my pages. And you can get different kinds of gesso. You can get white, clear, black. This is just, it dries to kind of a buff color. This is the least expensive one that I could get on Amazon, just because I knew I was going to use a lot of it. So I just went ahead and got a gallon. I'm just going to go ahead and pour it on here. And if I need to, I can carry it over to the next paper. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to probably wish that I had some scrap paper down. I think I'll use my brown. I did a video not too long ago about how to use your brown paper, and as soon as I did that, I got like 2 more packages from Amazon, and they were full of brown paper. So I have like a lifetime supply of brown paper now, I think, which is great. But now I can afford to use it for this. And even when I get gesso on this, it probably will still be awesome to use for something. So I doubt that I throw it away. So anyway, I hope you guys are having fun today, doing some crafting. And yeah, this is more than I needed, it looks like. This is very thin gesso. I have some gesso that I got at Walmart that's really nice. It's white, it's thick, acrylic gesso. It's really nice. So you might want to try that. I think I'm just going to lay this on top of here and get it on there like that. I may have enough for 3 sheets. Okay, or more. Maybe I'll do 4 sheets with this. It's kind of a mess, and so that's another reason I don't do it real often, because I don't like to make that kind of a mess. I like to make messes, but not this kind of a mess. So, but I wanted to do something different this time. So here we are. And I'm not worried about getting it smooth, because I kind of want it to have a texture to it, so that when the sprays go on it, they'll have a place to stick and run a little bit. So I'm not as concerned about getting it flattened out and smooth. Okay, so this one can dry. And then I need to get another sheet and blot this one up, I think. Yeah. I've got several mica sprays, and I've also got the Tim Holtz Distress sprays that when I first got them, I just could not get anything interesting with those. And so I finally broke down and watched the videos on how to use them. and you have to gesso under them. I'll show those to you too. And actually, maybe I do need to have 4 of these, because you can always add other things to them after you've sprayed them. So this gesso, what it's doing is it's sealing your paper so that it won't soak through and ruin the images on the back side. So, among other things, that's the main thing it's doing. And then it causes the distress spray, and it causes the mica sprays to sit on top of the paper and react with water and different things and look really cool and make some cool effects. Where if you don't use gesso, it just soaks into your paper and it just makes it ugly. It makes your backside that you printed ugly, and it doesn't really do anything when you spray it with water. So that is why we're doing this. And it looks like I still need another sheet. So that will be 4 sheets we're going to do with sprays, it looks like. I fell in love with the sprays when I did the art journals, because I had seen that done online, and I loved playing with it, with the high flow acrylic paint and acrylic ink. There's just some really beautiful things you can do, which we're going to try and play with them. This should have some good texture to it, I think. And you want to be sure and make sure you get your gesso on every bit of it, because it's kind of funny. It doesn't really spread. It looks like it's spreading and getting all your paper, but when you get back and look at it, you'll see where you miss some spots. And wherever you miss spots, that's where the paint and sprays will soak in and go to your other side and ruin them. So be careful to make sure you get every bit of it covered. And hopefully I am. Looks like I'm going to have to get a little bit more out. Okay. I think I got that one done. Hopefully. And then I don't know if I have enough left on this to actually finish this or not. I don't want to take any chances, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of. Another thing you can do with gesso that I've shown before is you can take a wadded up piece of wax paper and blot it with the gesso. Especially this is really thick and solid, and you can take your wadded up wax paper, dip it in the gesso, and then just blot whatever you're working on. And it just kind of, if you've done some crazy colors and things like that, it's a nice way to knock the colors back a little bit so they don't scream. Or if you just need another interesting texture, it's a good way to do that. Okay. All right, so I ended up with 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll let those dry, and then I'll come back and we will play with the sprays. Okay, well, we are back and the paper's dry, and I've got my brown paper down here to catch the spill. And then I was going to talk to you about the different sprays that I have. So the first kind I'm going to talk about is the distress oxide sprays. These are from Tim Holtz, and as you can see, they're kind of a dull color, and they don't have any mica in them or anything. And for the longest time, after I bought them, I was like, I don't like these. They're really kind of dull and boring. I don't really understand, and nothing seemed to, they didn't look good. I couldn't figure it out. So finally I looked at the videos. When all else fails, follow the instructions. And they said that you have to use gesso on the paper first, and then that lets the spray sit on top of it, and then they dry, and you can drip water on them, and they make interesting patterns. So I'm gonna do that first. So let's see, I haven't used these for a while. Do I want pink? I think I want fired brick. Let me see. Maybe fired brick and spiced marmalade. Maybe the amber. Maybe those. Although I really like the peeled paint. Let's see. I like the peeled paint and the cracked pistachio a lot. Yeah. I can get those to spray. That's the other thing is they, oh, where's the peeled paint? Cracked pistachio and peeled paint. There it is. Okay. All right, I'm going to use those two. And so let me shake. You got to shake them up really well. And hopefully they still spray. Okay. And I've got an apron on because when you use sprays, they go everywhere. The other thing I'm not crazy about is how they do just a big circle. But you can spray water on them and kind of move it around too. So we'll do that here in a little bit. So one of my favorite color combinations. And so if you keep spraying, you can eventually get so much on there that it will run, which looks cool. Okay, so I'm going to turn it, let it run a little bit. So you see it starts to get these cool patterns when you use enough spray. So I'm going to let that dry, but then I'm not done because I'm going to come back and spray and drip a little bit of water on it so you can see what that does. So let me set that over here and move on to the other sprays, which are the mica sprays. So let me put this paper away. By the way, when you get these, it's a good idea to do this palette so you can see what color they really look, because you really can't tell by looking at the bottles that well. Okay, so then I have a set. I'll just talk about these. These are lindysgang.com. It's Lindy's with a Y, lindysgang.com. They have some really interesting sprays. And I got this set, and again, I order these things and don't know what I'm doing. And these are the Moonshadow Mist set. And so they came in a tawny turquoise, gossamer gold, moonlit mulberry, long john silver, and buccaneer bay blue. So I just assumed that that's what they were, was colors. But when I sprayed them, they came out brown. And I could not figure out what in the world was going on. So let me grab it. I'll show you one that's already dried. Hold on just a second. So here's a set that I used it on. See how it looks brown, but when I move it, hopefully you can see the blue-green color. And so that is where the color comes in on these Moonshadow sprays. They're brown, which is gorgeous, but the color that they call out doesn't show unless you go like this under the light. So that see if I have any others. I don't think so. So that's what those look like. And once you realize what they are, I mean, I love them. But then I went ahead and ordered some other sprays. So I guess I could use those on. So the thing about these sprays, these mica sprays, is they get jammed up really easily. And you don't want to shake them. You want to go back and forth like this, and the mica will settle in the bottom on all of these sprays. See it? And so you want to be sure you've got that all mixed up, and it takes it a little while to get mixed up. And then you just spray it. And ooh, is this a moon shadow? Oh, this is a moon shadow. Yes, okay. So, see how it's just brown? I was so confused. And I'll try another color. Let's see. Let me try the Long John Silver. I haven't used hardly at all. See if it'll work for me. But they get clogged up, and you end up trying to clean out the sprayers, and it turns into kind of a deal. But they're so pretty, and they're worth it, I think. See what happens, though. See how they kind of do almost a crystallized look on the paper. And then you can let it run. It's just very pretty, I think. And you can also spray water on these if you want to make them run a little bit more, if you don't like the look of that. So I'm just going to kind of let those droplets run and let that dry. And what else can we get into? So let me put those away. Okay, so then I liked the Lindy sprays, so I went back. Oh, there's a Distress Oxide. I went back and got some different Lindy sprays, and they are called Starburst sprays, and they're true to color. When it says color, that's what they are. There's Cement Green, Time Travel Teal, Tibetan Poppy Teal, and then Red Hot Poker Orange. And that's my favorite one, and it's stopped spraying, unfortunately. So when all else fails, you just open up the lid and pour it on. So that's what I end up doing with the with the orange. So let's see, how about the green and the orange? See if I can get the green spray to work. Yeah, oh yeah, okay. All right, and I know the orange won't spray, but yeah, it never hurts to try, right? So you can either do this with it, or I get too impatient and I just kind of put a little bit like that. And I'll show you here in a minute what I do. I get the bottle of spray water. Oops. Okay, so you know me, I don't like to waste stuff, so when I spill it like that, I'm blotting it up. And of course this paper is going to turn into some pretty paper, so I'm going to be able to cut that up and use it, which is why I have it down here. Okay, so that, I mean, that's okay. I feel like it needs more interest. Ooh, it runs quick too. And I do let it run so I don't have any big dark drips of it left. So you just kind of take your time and turn it around and let it run. And then I'm going to let it dry, and then we'll come back and hit that with water also. And then I have one more piece of paper to do sprays on. So hold on. Okay, and I'm going to fold this up just so I don't get the backside of my paper messed up. Okay, and so looks like I've got a piece of paper stuck on that, and that is gonna let ink bleed through to my backside. Let's see, what is that? Oh well, it'll be all right. Okay, so the other things I've got are a set of, actually a couple different kinds, but I got a whole set of these Dilutions by Diane Reevely. It's Ranger product, the same company that Tim Holtz does his stuff for. She had a whole set of these really, really bright mica sprays. So I got those, and they're a little intense, but they're fun. And then another brand that I like is Glimmer Mist. It's Tattered Angels is the brand, Glimmer Mist. And particularly on this one, they make one called Dazzling Diamonds, and it's clear. And so it adds the mica sparkle. See how the mica's settled? You have to shake it. I've got a couple of bottles of that, and I'll show you in a minute. I think I'll use that instead of the water and spray on these other ones, and you'll see what happens. But I've got like Bahama Blue. You can see I kind of stick to the same color range all the time when I buy stuff. Here's a peach, Coral Reef, and so on. So let's see, why don't I, here's Bahama Blue and Curious, it's called, blue and green. Do I want that? Well, I tell you what, I'm going to use the Pure Sunshine first of all. It's kind of an orangey. Maybe. Oh, it's not going to work. Oh, it's clogged up. All right. Well, I'm not going to use that then. Let's see, what else can I get into? Well, I'll just go ahead and I've also got random ones. Like this was my favorite because it's that, I love that chartreuse color. And this one was a Heidi Swap that I got. I think I got it at Tuesday Morning, that discount store. Oh, it's not spraying either. See what I mean about these sprays? They stop working after a while. All right, let me try the Glimmer Mist. Tattered Angels. And this one is the Bahama Blue. You want to get all the sparkle you can, so you want to get it mixed up really good. There we go. All right, we'll put that on there. And I'm going to pour some of this Heidi Swap green on here, I think. Wow, that is really running out. I don't know if she even makes that anymore. I need more of that color. Okay, so I'm going to kind of let it run around. And then let's see what else I can get into here. It's Curious, which is blue. Looks like just a plain old blue. Let's see, what else have I got? Oh, here's a chartreuse. It's a dark chartreuse in the Heidi Swap. I don't know if it works. These are my oldest ones that I very first started out using. So Ooh, that's a pretty color, yeah. Okay. All right. And you can see how it's running across. Now, I'm going to take this clear Dazzling Diamonds, and it just causes it, oh, come on. This is the one I've had the longest. Oh, it's not going to work for me. Okay, well, let me get the newer one out. Actually, I've got a couple of bottles of that. I got 2 more bottles because I love what it does. So it just helps move the color without changing the color. Okay, see those little marks it made? I love that. So I'm just going to let it kind of drip on there. And so this will take a minute. I probably will speed this video up maybe or cut to the end. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. And now I'm going to go back, and I do need my spray water, so hold on just a second. Let me grab my spray water bottle. I've got a couple of them. This is a bigger spray, and then I've got a fine mist kind of bottle here. So let me grab my, let's see, where's the, so here's the Holtz spray. See how they're just kind of dull compared to the shimmer a little bit on a mica spray. I don't know if you can see the color in that, but it's shimmery. And so here's this. It's kind of plain. So I'm going to take this mist and kind of let it spray. I hope you can see this. Can you see the reaction where the water hit? Now I'll do some bigger water drop. And it's pretty cool. I like it a lot when you do the water droplets. If you don't get it too much. Otherwise it just turns into a puddle, but okay, I hope that shows up on camera because it really popped out as soon as I hit it with water. So that's what happens with that. And let me get this one. This was the, which one was this? I think just the regular mica sprays. So I'm going to take this clear spray and see what happens to that. Actually, it's not doing a whole lot, is it? All right, well, let me, this, oh, I know what, this was that orange one that I poured out. Let me try some of these dilution ones that are a brighter color and see what happens. Stopped up. Okay, how about Calypso Teal? We'll try that. Woof. This might end up being one of those pages I cover up. Not too thrilled with it so far. Okay. Let us see. Maybe if I let it run, I'll like it. Oh, it's better. I'm liking it better. And so it kind of wakes up the ones that were sprayed on it to begin with. The gesso keeps it protected so it doesn't soak through. Okay, so that is that. And then this one, I don't know, I'm going to spray some of this clear on it. I like it the way it is, but I'm going to try spraying some of this clear and see what it does, if it does anything. Whenever you get it wet, it changes because it's water soluble, and so if you see something you like, don't spray anymore because it will change it. And I really do kind of like that crystallization kind of look that happens on this. So I think I'm going to leave it at that and let it dry. Okay, so let's see where this one ended up. Okay, it needs to maybe run a little bit more. So I'm going to try to force it. I could spray more clear on it and get it to run more, but I'm trying to stop. So I'm going to let it. The other thing I could do is blot it. So let me try that. Okay. That works. That got rid of the big heavy drips. Okay. So I'm liking that, and you can see the texture of the gesso under it. So there's that one. This one. Okay, and then this, I'll show you this one more time. This is pretty much dry. So I love this subtle, kind of just the water spot effect. This is the Tim Holtz. Okay, so those are the sprays that we got to play with, and I hope you enjoyed that. Hope that was informative. And I will be back on the next video to do some more. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.